So for anyone that doesn't know what the IDF is, I actually really don't know much about it myself, just that it's Immune Deficiency Foundation. I'm a little bit familiar with immune deficiency, but mostly I just know that Mousy has been like a huge advocate for this. Oh, what? Yeah, helps people with chronic illness. So we're gonna read about them. There is a link pinned at the top if you want to make a donation. I made a donation of what I could do. There's like, we're gonna go, oh my god, Shylily went to the list. So, about the Immune Deficiency Foundation, whether you've been recently diagnosed, have been living with a primary immunodeficiency for years, or just think you might have a PI, we are here to help. While PI has no cure, there are life-saving treatments available that can improve the quality of life for those affected by these rare chronic conditions. Our programs are meant to connect, engage, and empower families to live longer, stronger, and healthier lives. There are more than 550 types of PI that affect an estimated 500,000 people in the United States. 550! What? On average, it takes 9 to 15 years to achieve a diagnosis. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. IDF programs help achieve an early and accurate diagnosis, appropriate treatment, and improved quality of life for all individuals. Some interesting facts. Approximately 14 million Americans under the age of 65 are immunocompromised. Approximately 30 million Americans have a rare disease. 70% to 90% of those with a PI don't even know they have one. Some PI diagnoses include common variable immune deficiency, severe combined immunodeficiency, CGD-HLH, hyper IgE syndrome, IgA deficiency, specific antibody deficiency, and XLE. Yes, I absolutely know what all of those are. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, they help a lot of people. And Mousy is raising funds for this foundation. You're allergic to yourself. Yeah, I know some of them are like your body like thinks it's a danger, so like it attacks itself. Ironmouse leaves VShojo, alleges VTuber agency owes over $500,000 to charity. One of the most popular VTubers in the world, Ironmouse, has officially announced that she has left her talent agency, VShojo, and is taking some form of legal action against the company due to a number of reasons, including the alleged withholdings of funds to herself and charity organizations. Yup. It's on esports news. Wow. Hello, Spider. Welcome in. According to Ironmouse, VShojo was misleading her for the last several months, largely around monetary compensation owed to her and her charity of choice for numerous fundraising events, the Immune Deficiency Foundation. So we're gonna watch her video, which I guess we don't have to read through this at the moment then, because it's probably gonna go over what is said in the video. From what I've read as well, literally all of their talents have left or are planning to leave. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a bunch of them posting on Twitter today, like, oh, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Look, my VShojo badge is gone. Poof, gone. Forever. As of today, I'll be terminating my contract with VShojo effective immediately, and I will be returning to being an independent VTuber and content creator. Nothing about my content will change, as I was indie for 18 years! What? Amelie has been streaming for that long? What the frick? I did not know that. Holy shit, on a stick. Wow. Wow. And then who else is this? Kusa? I think it's kind of funny because she literally just joined. She's like the meme of the guy who walks into the office with pizza and it's on fire. Amelie just gets there and yeah, everything's on fire and she's just like, nah, I'm leaving. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. So this is Kusa. It's with a heavy heart that I announce my graduation from VShojo and my departure as a VTuber under their banner. This decision has not been easy, but after much reflection, I feel it is the right step for me moving forward. Over the past insert time period, I've had the privilege of creating memories, sharing laughter, and building a community with all of you. Your support, love, and energy have been the heartbeat of my journey, and I am endlessly grateful for every moment we've shared. Wow. Unfortunately, I have faced significant challenges with VShojo, including the non-payment of earnings owed to me and other talents since last year. Holy shit. Well, how do you even make excuses for a whole year to not pay someone? Like, what the frick kind of excuses are they? Additionally, funds promised for charitable causes, which means so much to me and our community, have not been fulfilled. These issues have made it impossible for me to continue under the current circumstances, as they conflict with my values and commitment to transparency and integrity. Wow. So yeah, so this was a little letter from Kusa. Miss Bitch best have my money on time. Yeah, like what the freak? Like, oh, sorry, we have a cold for like a year now. We can't pay you yet. It's coming. Don't worry. We promise. Oh, don't. Oh, I lost the freaking like bank number or something. I don't freaking. How do you like? I don't even know. What would you say? How do you just go for a whole year being like, oh yeah, it's coming. Yeah, the payment's coming. It's fine. It's on the way. I promise. Yep. 2 months go by and you're like, oh no, it's. I swear it's on the way. The Wi-Fi is just bad. The the Wi-Fi or some shit's just bad. Holy shit. They probably didn't even pay them. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it came out that they weren't paying them either. Yeah, a lot of them are saying they haven't been paid. A lot of them have been saying that. All right. So we're going to watch Mousie's video. I haven't watched it yet myself. I'm sure a lot of everyone else has, but it is my first time watching it. Yeah, right? If I wasn't paid for over a year, I'd be on the streets. I'd be on the freaking streets. Like, what the hell? What the hell?
I am leaving VShojo. Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by VShojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from VShojo. I know
Oh,
this is a lot,
God.
and it's
Like, can you imagine? Like, oh my God, I cannot imagine having a charity, okay? Like, hosting a charity and like my community raises so much damn money, okay? And then like I call them whatever, however, like a couple months down the road and I'm like, "Oh, hey, not that this is how it would get done, but I don't know. I just imagine calling them and you're like, "Hey, did you ever get that donation that like my awesome freaking amazing community made?" And they're just like, "Huh?" And you're like, "Yeah. We raised like 500K. Did you get it?" And they're like, "No." Like, no? And you're like, And like, just like the way your heart would just, your stomach would just drop with like, just, oh, I would feel guilty. Like, I would feel guilty. Like, your freaking community trusts that their money is going to this foundation, and then you find out none of it did. I cannot even imagine. I can't. I've seen this video 3 times already, and every time it makes me extremely angry. I know people were under NDA, so they didn't speak out earlier, but with what VShojo did, wouldn't that break the contract, making the NDA valid? Invalid. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how NDAs work. It could be true, like it could break the contract, but then most people might not be familiar with that, so then they're still scared to speak out anyways. VShojo is based in California, and that place is a shit show too. Oh god.
Very important for me to be honest with all of you. I really want to tell you everything, but unfortunately right now, I have been instructed by my attorney to wait for more of the legal procedure to unfold. So one day I will be able to tell you the full story.
Aw.
But for now, I just need to let you know that I will no longer be a part of VShojo. If you give me a moment of your time, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I know for a lot of people right now that this might be the first time you're ever watching me. I became a VTuber because I really wanted to make friends. I was very lonely due to the fact that I have a primary immune deficiency disease called CVID. I basically have a low to near non-functioning immune system, which means I get sick a lot, and it caused me to remain isolated for long periods of my life. So then I found streaming, and I thought about giving...
Hold on, we're gonna read that. Wait, we're gonna read it. So, CVID is a relatively frequent form of primary immunodeficiency found in about 1 in 25,000 persons. This is the reason it is called common. The degree and type of deficiency of serum immunoglobulins and the clinical course varies from person to person, hence the word variable. An additional characteristic is a decreased IgA and or IgM level, or a low level of all 3 major types of immunoglobulins. In some individuals, there are defects of the T cells, and this may also contribute to increased susceptibility to infections as well as autoimmunity, granulomatous disease, and cancer.
Periods of my life. So then I found streaming, and I thought about giving it a try because I wanted to see if I could make some friends online, because I honestly couldn't ever
And
leave my
so
room.
she did.
I never really expected to grow an audience or anything. It was one of the last things on my mind. I just thought that I would stream to, 5 to 10 people and just hang out from time to time, make some friends, play games, and just continue on with my life. But unfortunately, I was too scared to stream with my face. So a friend of mine recommended that I try an app called FaceRig that would allow me to use an anime avatar to stream. And that's how I started VTubing. It took me a while to...
Ooh, what is FaceRig? I've never heard of that. Wait, FaceRig. This is FaceRig. What the frick?
I met her on the internet.
Oh.
Haven't met in person yet, and that's how I'd like you to say.
Oh my god, guys, I'm gonna be a horse. I'm gonna stream as a horse our next stream. Let's go. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. I'm a half horse. Bam, bam. bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. I love it. Yeah, exactly. Uma Musu Mehoshi. Let's go. Let's go.
To take it seriously and even begin to think about maybe being able to grow a community and even make this a career. I think I really started to take it seriously around the time when I was approached to join VShojo, and it was through VShojo that I was able to grow into the Ironmouse that I am today. When I was approached in 2020 and asked to join VShojo, it seemed like a good idea, but I honestly did not know if I could ever be a corporal VTuber because I felt like I just couldn't. In my mind, I saw myself as unhireable, which is why streaming worked for me. I had no boss, no strict rules, I had no hours, no expectations. It was all up to me, and due to the fact that I have lived my life chronically ill and being unable to do much of anything, I just felt like there was no way that anyone would ever take me or want me. For a while, I was struggling to make a decision because I was afraid about my anonymity and afraid about trusting people because I felt like every time I put my trust in people, it always ends in grief for me. So I was worried about expectations and a million and one other things. But I ultimately decided to join VShojo. It really pains me that I am unable to fully explain why I am leaving.
Look, like, even though they turned out to be a piece of shit in the end, like, she still benefited a lot from joining them in the first place. She broke out of that shell and learned her own how valuable she is. She made a bunch of friends. She can support her family now. So like it's like, yeah, they turned out to be a piece of shit, but at least she made gains from them. Right? Even Dr. Evil wouldn't have done this.
But for right now, here's what I am allowed to share with you. I would always be told how important I was for the company.
You are!
And I was always told that I was needed in order for the company to succeed. Although that was very positive to hear, it put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me to the point where I felt guilt tripped into signing. I felt responsible for everybody.
Yeah, definitely their way of manipulating her. Like, oh, we can't succeed without you. We need you.
I felt responsible
Exactly,
for staff
gaslighting.
and talent alike. And I felt like if I didn't do this and if I didn't stay, I was hurting everybody and I was destroying everybody's life. But this didn't feel right with me, and I began to feel extremely uncomfortable. As my viewers know, privacy has always been one of my biggest concerns. I've had a lot of scary experiences in my life, so one amazing thing for me was the fact that VShojo handled all my payments, and it meant that I never had to give out any of my personal information, so that was always a blessing to me. As time went on, I decided that I wanted to try to start pulling out my remaining funds because I wanted to start taking over.
Yeah, and then VShojo was like, no.
My own finances. This is what led me to this point. Throughout the years, Connor and I have raised around $4 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Holy shit!
The majority of the money raised is through Tiltify at events like the Cyclothon, the charity auction, and other miscellaneous events that we've had. However, because of the success of my first subathon, I decided to donate half the earnings of my following two subathons to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The first time I tried this, it worked great. Over 200,000 people supported me, and because of that, we raised over $329,350 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Because the money came from my Twitch revenue instead of a Tiltify link, it required VShojo to make the donation on my behalf. They promptly sent the payment, and the
Wow.
subathon was a huge success. So I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers and breaking the
Holy
all-time
shit.
sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I once again asked VShojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, VShojo has not paid the charity. The Immune Deficiency Foundation
Wow.
means the world to me. Connor and I have both spent a ton of energy, time, and resources raising money for charity. And we're both so proud to be able to say that we've raised nearly $4 million for charity. We almost always raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. They help people with primary immune deficiency diseases, or PI, which are inherited disorders where a part of the body's immune system is missing or doesn't function properly, which makes people like me more prone to infection, and this includes over 450 different conditions. The Immune Deficiency Foundation is a charity that is near and dear to my heart and has a particular significance in my life. When my health first started getting really bad, the Immune Deficiency Foundation helped me immensely when I really had nowhere else to turn. I was terrified, I was lonely, and I was confused. I honestly didn't really know what was.
This is sad. I want to start a GoFundMe to open a McDonald's that only hires scumbags from the internet. McDonald's prison. Hell yeah, let's go.
Was going
Let's
on,
go.
and I never ever want anyone else to go through that. This entire situation has broken me. I just wanted to do something good and to give back to a community that helped me. But unfortunately, that's not the case. As much as I would like to continue to talk about this, unfortunately, I can't. So, to recap,
It's so
I
sad.
believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the Immune Deficiency Foundation is owed over $500,000 from VShojo. I really wish that I could tell you more, but right now, I have been advised to wait for legal proceedings. As of right now, I am an independent VTuber. I am at a loss of what to do right now. I'm kind of processing everything.
Damn.
I'm very sad and very confused. Once again, I want to apologize to
For what?
the Immune Deficiency Foundation
Oh.
and to my community.
I mean, like,
who has shown
that's not your responsibility to apologize for. It's not your fault they're freaking scumbags. You can pay extra to shoot spitballs at them. No need to pay, that's their tip. Oh my god.
so much support to me. I also wanted to say
Wow.
that all the ad money made from this video will go towards the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I really haven't had much time to process this. But below the video,
In
the description,
my opinion, what you do is you just remove VShojo from your name and you continue doing what you do. Literally, VShojo was just like the title there, but like they don't make the talent. So just remove them from the title and away you go. You just keep doing what you're doing. Nothing needs to change. Yeah, Mousy did nothing wrong, literally. Literally did nothing wrong.
description box is a link to a donation fund for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Thankfully, any donations made through Tiltify go directly to the charity. That link is also there if you've heard about this and would like to support the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Yes, the link
Sometime
is
this month,
pinned at the
I
top.
plan on doing a special live stream in order to raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I hope to have a ton of friends joining me, and hopefully there'll be a lot of singing and a lot of fun and just a day full of happiness. I just honestly really want to show that after all of this, that VTubing is a force for good. So thank you guys so much for all the support, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And once
Aww.
again, I want to say that I am truly sorry.
You don't need to say sorry.
Okay?
No. Aww. That makes me sad. Hot take, hear me out. Maybe, just maybe, this is some giga brain move by VShojo to raise millions for the IDF. And no, we can't give that much credit to them. Not at all. Not at all. Ironmouse is not the only talent to leave VShojo this year. In April, Matara-kun announced that her contract with the agency would be ending in May and she would be going fully independent. This was followed by Giga terminating her contract with the company on June 27th. The same day, one of the founding VShojo talents, Zentrea, announced that she would be leaving the agency on July 11th. Wow. Wow. As for a potential impact on streaming and esports, there is a chance that other talent will also leave VShojo now that Ironmouse has publicly shared this information. Holy crap. This is Kson's video. Kson quits VShojo and calls the CEO live on stream. Like, wait, actually, do we get to see the live on stream? Oh, I wanna see it. I wanna see Kson got the VShojo CEO to admit they didn't pay them. Okay, we have to watch this. Thoughts and final call with the CEO. Oh, she did. Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on.
So I have been lied to from the company a lot about
This part of the video is
situation.
called "Call with
So
CEO."
my payment stopped last September. I was asking, what's going on?
Last
for a long time,
September.
multiple times.
What?
All they said
What? Okay. Oh wait. Hold on. Wait.
was, it's gonna be paid. It's gonna be paid. It's gonna be paid.
Yeah. How do you say that? Oh, it's gonna be paid a month later. Yeah. It's gonna be paid 2 months later. Yeah. It's gonna be paid 6 months later. Yeah. It's coming. It's coming. Hold your horses there. Wow. Welcome in, Thwan. Your Twitch broke. Oh my gosh.
Paid, and it was never paid, and I think it will never be.
Yeah.
yes.
I don't think
The reason
so.
why I waited so long was that if I like say, okay, I'm gonna reveal this information and I'm gonna quit. If I say that, I thought they were not going to pay me the amount they owe.
They're not going to
And
pay you either
That
way.
was scary
It
for
seems.
me. But so recently, I've decided, fuck it, I'm leaving, and I was about to tell you guys that I will be leaving this month, and I was getting ready for that. I wasn't ready for today's whatever came out.
And then Ironmouse came in first.
today. I was not ready. There were so many things that I didn't know, but this is what I know, and this is my story. And I will have the VShojo CEO, VShojo JP CEO, explain this to you guys, because I have done so many. Well, it's not so many. It's only about 2. I've done 2 streams with him, I was saying all the good things about VShojo.
Right.
Fucking embarrassed about this.
Why be
now that I know
embarrassed?
that I fucking lied to.
Why would you be embarrassed?
I'm so ashamed of
Aww.
myself for believing in.
I want to give them all hugs. They'll be there. I will be the emotional support Wolpertinger. I'll do it.
Someone who only had interest in our money. Well, let's ask the VShojo CEO, VShojo JP CEO, about what the fuck's going on. I am going to call him right now.
Do it.
こちらは、VShojo. This is VShojo. JP CEO. Are you still the CEO?
For now, yes.
まだギリギリ CEO だそうです。はい。音も聞こえてるということなので、I would like you to explain the situation because I know you know more about this situation than me.
Slightly more, maybe.
Slightly more, okay.
Yeah.
But I need to know everything, and the fans should know everything.
So he's the CEO and he only knows slightly more than her. Huh. Okay.
He'll be
alright.
explaining in Japanese and in English. Is that okay with you?
I'm not really good English speaker, and also I don't trust myself, like, the speaking the correct word and term in English. I want to be super careful about what I'm saying here, because
right.
Yeah, as you explained
that's fair.
Yeah,
but okay, then okay, Japanese comes first. では、はい。まず日本語で。
Don't be fooled by the cute otaku cat. It's a wolf. Yeah.
So you were told from VShojo that they were willing to pay. They're gonna do it like next month. Of course they're working on it, and then now
ということ
are
で
you
They're
telling me
working
that
on
you've
it.
been lied to?
嘘をつかれていたっていうところはあったんですけれども、
So
I'm
did you just
hydrating.
say that VShojo JP itself was doing good
そうですね。
And
in finances too?
そうですね。
You haven't paid me.
っていうことになるんですね。その本社の中の帳簿上はそうなってたっていうことは聞いてます。
Huh?
日本の
Huh? Wait, do we have subtitles?
本社の中の帳簿上はそうなってたっていう
Damn
こ
it!
とは聞いてます。
There's no English subtitles.
日本でもタレントに1円も払われてない状態っていうのを把握しておられたんでしょうか？
そうです。はい。
What are they saying? Wait, auto translate. Okay, hold on, wait. We're finding Japanese. Okay. Just learn Japanese. All right, we're gonna have a whole Japanese lesson right now. Let's go. Free Information Legal Mindset said Japan CEO is more of a branch manager. There is no separation here between Japan and US because it's the same company. Damn. So Japan screwed as well. Good, because they shouldn't get out of it. Okay, let's see if there's translation now.
So this is what I want to know. And this is what everyone wants to know.
Oh my god. It just put the freaking... It just put the captions in freaking Japanese. God dang it. God dang it. That didn't work. It didn't work. This is what I want to know, and this is what everyone wants to know.
Why did this happen?
Oh, well, this is in English.
Why?
Okay.
Why? なぜ起こったんですか？こんなことが。
これに関しては、全ての範囲を僕が見えてるわけじゃないんで。
Are you telling me that it's not like someone did something maliciously? It's like they just weren't good at it. The finances.
They just weren't good. They didn't know how to pay people for over half a year.
You're getting paid right now.
They didn't know. They
は
couldn't learn.
あなたはお給料もらってるん
They
ですか
hired someone to work in finance who didn't know how to do finances, and so they just didn't pay people.
今、
Okay.
表情から。
ほぼもらってないですね。
ほぼ。ほぼってことは
ペイカットを、まあ、受けている
ペイ
っていう。
カットって何ですか I'm sorry it's all about me, guys, but
Hello,
the only thing I
Shadow!
can talk about is me right now. So, well, I am not getting paid.
Oh
Well,
my
I-
god, Henya now to wait, Henya. Oh yeah, Henya was in VShojo. Wow, so now she's quitting too. I mean, doesn't surprise me, I guess, really. I'm listening to you in another convo, and oh my god, why is everything a bad topic? Damn. She says VShojo also owes her money and merch. Wow. Wow. They just have not been paying everyone. That's great. Great. Absolutely fantastic.
I'm not getting paid. You were getting paid. Well,
You yeah.
well, staffs do have
Well,
to get paid. So I'm not
obviously.
gonna say like, hey, don't pay the staff, just pay us. No, I'm not gonna say that, but just kind of sounds very unfair.
Yeah, like they're
So
all
it's not-
getting paid, but not the
Down first, my
contractors
ass.
or whatever
Was
they
it,
want to call
like,
them.
staff?
I think I seen somewhere that they considered the VShojo VTuber stars kind of like contractors.
First,
まあでもスタッフは本当に悪くなかったと思います。
is the debt gonna be paid? Is my money gonna be paid?
そうですね。デッドが払えるかどうかっていうのは、会社が
Maybe
これ
we
から
will
持ち
pay
直すか
you.
どうかに
Maybe.
かかって
It's
る。特に
coming.
US 側、今の状態だと分離できていないんで、
はい。
持ち直せるかどうかに関わってるところなんですけど、
うん
かなり難しいと思います。
Or even try to add another talent, multiple talents to
Oh
this company.
my god, yeah. Someone on Twitter quote retweeted when they last year when they opened up their auditions. And I had forgot about it, but when I seen it, they literally quote retweeted it and said, "So when are you guys announcing the winners?" And I was like, "Oh my god. I totally forgot they had even opened auditions. Like, they opened auditions and then nothing. And then they just nothing. Right? I don't remember anyone new. I don't remember a huge announcement that, oh my god, this person won the audition and now they're part of VShojo. Like, they just that was it. Like, oh, we're open for auditions. And then people sent in the applications and then it's like, okay, bye. Thanks. We're just disappearing now.
Told multiple times that they haven't paid me and they have a lot of problems. What? What was that? What was that? あれは何だったんでしょうか
He's just like,
タレントが追加されたこともそうなんですけど、追加しようとしてることもそうで、
Someone could have stopped the situation. It didn't. It went all the way. It didn't have to go all the way.
そうですね。特になんか、
Did anyone inside VShojo say, "Hey, there's something wrong. Hey, let's not do this. Hey, let's stop this and let's see what our finances are going. Hey, looks like this amount of money should be paid to the talents and we haven't. Hey, we need to do something about that." Did anyone say anything about that?
yeah, it's kind of weird that nobody would say anything. Unless, like, they somehow didn't know. Or, you know, they're keeping all the money for themselves, so why would they say anything? Yeah, exactly. The CEO needs another yacht. And yeah, Kson, Massacre Kson said that they hadn't paid since freaking September. Like, bro. Yeah, right, I can't believe he actually agreed to be on stream. It's weird to me. It is really weird to me that if he knows he's gonna be on stream, he would have agreed to do this. It's really weird.
という話を聞いて進んでたっていうことですね。
So they were lied to.
まあそういうことですね。
That's a lie. Yes. So that's a yes. Okay. So who was lying? 誰が
Ah, yes,
まあ
okay.
いわゆる
So they were like, oh yeah, we've been paying them, and everyone's like, oh, okay. Unbeknownst to them. Look, we just won't pay Ironmouse. The financial penalty will be negligible. Oh.
やんってなるんですけど、誰がその嘘をついてたんですか？
多分その判断をする人っていうのも複数にいるっていうところと、そこが明らかになるのは今後なんで、私にはわからないところです。
She's getting so frustrated.
はい。
Any questions from chat? I'm sorry, chat.
Yes, where's the money? Questions? Questions, anyone? Where's the money? Where is it?
Just there's so many things going on in my head. There are so limited things I can say. There are legal issues going on. I don't want to stir anything up for the other girls because they have their own things they have to say. So let's not. There's so many things I want to tell you that I shouldn't. Will there be an apology from the company? I hope there would. Will they? Will they want an apology or something? Any statement? Any public whatever from the company?
私もそう願っていますが、はい。
Well, there were so many things I have to apologize to the fans. So, thank you, VShojo, J.
It worked! Hell yeah, Kitsuya! Okay, good. Very good. That makes me happy. I feel like this is a sign that they know just how absolutely cooked they are. That he's openly talking about this on stream. Yeah. Or maybe somehow he thinks they're immune because they're in Japan. Maybe?
P CEO for now. ありがとうございます。一応、
は
so that was VShojo.
Thank you,
JP
and go
CEO
fudge
for now.
yourself.
I know there's a lot of things you want to say, of course. Me too.
Sorry, correction. No thank you, and go fudge yourself.
I want to yell. I want to scream. I want to cry.
Do both.
And I feel like there were so many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
This is just sad. They said so many good things. And I know that they, like, it wasn't their intent to, like, be like this, and I know that, of course. They didn't want this too. I know that. I hope, like, they're not the evil that you guys, some of you guys are saying. I know it's not. But it's true that they made this kind of mess. Will you really quit today, or will you quit in the 31st? I quit today. Yes, I quit whenever I want to. And I've said that from day one. If I want to quit, I quit. And
Yeah,
I'm leaving
exactly.
VShojo today. At this moment.
Wow.
Well, I feel like I've already left, like, 2 hours ago. To be
Kudos to Mouse for standing up and giving everyone the courage to walk away. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. For clarification, VShojo's JP CEO only manages the JP talents and has no control over how the company operates or how the finances are handled for EN. Kson doing this is essentially getting the highest authority she can get to speak on the matter. His statements boil down to, I don't know, because none of EN's managerial or financial issues were communicated to the other branch. Oh, that makes a little bit more sense. That makes a little bit more sense. See, we have a video from Shylily speaking on the situation as well. I don't know, like, Shylily wasn't part of VShojo, but apparently she was going to sign a contract until she went through the contract. So I'm interested if she shares anything that was on the contract that were red flags to her. JP branch is more like a subsidiary, not a partnership. Yeah. Apparently legally they aren't distinct entities. Hello, Amy! Hello! Even Charlie Moist Critical talked about it? Really? Oh my god. Oh my god. There's so much I need to watch! There's so much!
Hello Lily, hello
Hello.
Womp Womp.
Now I know this might be rude to you, Lily, but I just want to send my
Oh yeah, doesn't that mean, I just seen one of the chatters, doesn't that mean that Ironmouse can get like a V card now? Because she probably couldn't before, right?
regards and best wishes, and all love. I mean at least 50% of my support to Ironmouse. She deserves better.
Oh, she
Womp
deserves
womp.
better. Oh my god, dude. My heart dropped when I saw this. The drama frogs got into my chat yesterday, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Leave me the fuck alone.
Poor
I
Shylily.
have to educate myself first. Dude, I saw the drama frogs in my chat as I was about to end stream. I was like, brother, oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And then I was on Twitter and I was like, what's going on? And then I was on YouTube and I
What's
was
going
like,
on?
No way!
Fire in the background.
What's
going on?
Explain. I mean, I did open a can of worms on
Can
Twitter.
I get a womp womp for the
What
mouse?
happened? A womp
Womp
for my
womp.
mouse. Poor mouse. It must be so fucking scary to do this. Oh, like the fucking
Yeah.
goosebumps I
Owner
had.
of Daily Dose of Shoujo YouTube channel dead of a heart attack.
What happened with Mouse? Is she okay? I hope so. I don't think that's
Alright, we're gonna
easy
skip
to
ahead a
digest.
little
No,
bit. Let's go up
those
here.
employees can talk. Dude, I thought it was a bit cringe
Look how cute her model is!
how people
Oh my god!
literally had absolutely zero comprehension and just like tried to make the situation either into a funny or literally into a drama or rage.
Oh my god! Oh my god, my brain did not compute, okay? Because I seen on Twitter, Shylily responded to her own tweet, and she was like, she basically was like, guys, don't be stupid. It's in the description. It's in the quote retweet. And I didn't compute what she meant until now. Oh my god. Leave it to people to freaking be dumb. Like, come on. Come on. Yeah, this is their new model. It's so cute.
Bait. That was so uncool. I was like, brother,
Wow.
that was so uncool.
The disappointment in some
Fucking
people.
literal Twitter moment. Like some people have to literally be dead ass sometimes. It's like, brother, you're probably like 11 years
Wow.
old. I want to say it's okay, but it really isn't. But I hope eventually over time you'll learn when it's the right time to be a dumbass and to be
Yeah,
quote unquote
exactly.
funny. And
Read the
whatnot.
room. It's called Read the
That
Freaking
was
Room.
mad cringe. Yeah, I hope Miles gets everything. She is old. Sorry, let me catch you up to date.
I
We
hope
opened a can
everyone-
of worms. It's one of
I
the
hope everyone gets what they freaking are owed. Henya. Oh my god, I can't talk. Henya finished streaming and it's only like 20 minutes. Oh, okay. Is it on YouTube already? I follow a streamer who made it. She's cute as hell. She's cute as well.
those topics that will be impossible to not talk about when like the entire foundation that is the Western VTubing will be talking about this. I'll look like a fucking clown if I pretend nothing's going on, bro. But super long story short, Miles addressed some concerns of within VShojo and
Yes.
how VShojo is
Concerns.
owing people large amounts of money. Amongst those people being 500,000 that is owed to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Immune or immuno? Immune.
Same, Shylily,
You know what I
same.
mean? Sorry, they owe her
The
directly to yes.
Immune Deficiency Foundation. Oh my god! Legal Mindset freaking uploaded on YouTube. Freaking hell yeah, we're gonna watch that. Okay. Alright.
But we don't know
Sleeping
what they
tonight,
owe
boys.
to
Nope,
each
get
other
your
talent.
popcorn.
We know for
Let's
a fact
go.
they owe to the Immunodeficiency Foundation. Yeah. Literally fucking sucks. And also, I made a tweet opening up about them recruiting me in 2023. Let me just talk real quick about this, because I opened a can of worms. Nothing that I didn't expect. I absolutely did hope that, you know, it would make a splash, because that splash in exchange will hopefully fund the engagement and help ultimately the donation link to the actual charity. So that
Yes.
was, you know,
Link to the charity, by the way, is pinned at the top if you want to make a donation to the IDF, the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
calculated. If you can turn a shit situation into something helpful, I always will. But VShojo reached out to me in 2023.
Whoa, here we
asked me if I
go.
wanna join at the end. I think it was at the end, and I don't wanna be too uneducated. I can just check. Hold up, before I say shit. I think it was the end of 2023. But I can check. I can literally just check. Okay, it was summer, so
Wow, that was a while ago.
it was the second half of the year of 2023. And before I say anything, I've already seen some like weird ass drama schizos, some like neglected freaking
Oh my god.
brain rotten people try and, you know, already drama the situation of like, so nice of you to let other people run into the fucking fire. VShojo doesn't send out fucking newsletters of people who are about to join to the entirety that is the VTubing scene. I don't fucking know who's joining, brother. On top of that, my contract.
How are you supposed to know if your friends don't tell you that they're gonna join? How are you supposed to warn them? What the hell?
I called legal robbery,
Can we
and I
say
will
that
stand
this
by
will be
this.
the
You're not
end
some
of
friggin'
corpo
psychic.
tubers in the US?
No, I don't
At this
think
point,
so.
I can't see tubers willing to take the risk anymore.
No, I
also,
don't
much
think
love to
so.
Mouse and all other Shoujo
Yes,
talents
much love to
that
them.
been affected.
Anyway, I'm gonna pause stuff for now. Yeah, Mutiti is what I'll talk about. Pause. I don't waste your money. Shut up. But when a few of the talents walked out, a little while after, they recruited people. I was amongst one of those people I tried to recruit.
Okay.
We got to the contract
I
negotiation.
mean, like, makes sense because they need some people to steal money from. All right, yep. Makes
phase,
sense.
which is why everything fell apart because I strongly disagreed with the contract. It was very greedy, very exploitative of my assets. And before I say anything more, again, those weird ass schizo fucking, I don't know what the fuck's mentally wrong with them. Those non-medication having schizos on Twitter. Just because I disagree with the contract doesn't mean I
Dying. She's freaking ruthless.
have to go around the fucking world and literally commit slander, which, by the way, defamation is literally fucking illegal.
Literally.
And like, go be a fucking drama frog. Just because I don't like a contract and it's robbing me doesn't mean that A, other people are getting the same contract, and B, doesn't mean that other people disagree with it as much.
Exactly.
They try to monetize my assets that I worked for.
Right, Amy? I've never actually watched her streams, just seen some clips here and there. Ever since Cinder, she's going no holds barred. Yeah, she's like, you know what? Frick all of you. Frick all of you. Going to assume they'll likely still go after them, as I doubt VShojo bribed the government or the president enough.
Like, I can also tell you right now, flipping burgers at McDonald's isn't the way to go, and people will still fucking apply. What does that say about anything? Everyone has a different level of sacrifice they're willing to commit to. That level of sacrifice was not...
Look, I liked my job flipping burgers, okay? I enjoyed putting that shit together. But not everyone likes it.
something I was willing to commit to at all whatsoever. But everyone's different, bro. Everyone's fucking different. If they... So let me go into more detail and explain what the frick is going on. When they reached out, I was very, very, very particular about what I want and what I have to offer and my worth. And when they reached out, the person who reached out, bless them, they are an absolute sweetheart. An absolute sweetheart. They promised the fucking world. They had this big ass, long ass meeting and promised the world. Like this, they had this like massive PowerPoint. Hold up. I can't check
Yeah, so then it sounds too good to be true.
how long, but it's very long. We had this super long call. It doesn't say how long, but we had this super massive long call of like everything they offer, which was all the way from, you know, legal advice, shows. It was just a whole lot of stuff. Should those receipts, girl? Bro, nah, I'm not gonna dox
We will give you the world and also steal your money, but we won't tell you that part.
everyone who was in the call at that time. But I do need a mental refresher real quick. Hold up. Let me mute everything. They had this like beautifully crafted thing of like how VShojo operates, first of all. How they're true to their values, the tech team, and all the strong finances. They were showcasing all the events they can do for me. Online, offline, organization-based projects like project management, third-party support, blah, blah, blah. Online events such as debuts, coordinating with contractors, hype and marketing, media, assets, and whatnot. They have case studies on all the things they have been doing, such as the Minecraft server and what they're doing for that, IRL stuff and VIRL stuff, backpacking and whatnot. For which talents they did this for, what debut events they have been doing, what concerts, birthday concerts, offline events, online events, all the highlight videos they have for those online events, consultations, international relationship industry, public relations, finance, security, DMCA takedowns, copyright, escalation systems, interviews, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, but what? Wow. So they just like overwhelm you with all the good shit so that you'll probably just ignore the bad shit. They're literally slaves to the company.
PR management, interview.
Look at all these 500 things that we can do for you, and then like in small text, but you'll also be our slave. But look at the 500 things we can do for you. Yeah, go information overload. Yeah.
Use takedowns
What the hell?
with like all kinds of teams that they work with, helping with commissioning, games, collabs, blah, 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 support in voice acting, scheduling support.
Yeah, that's true. If this was a romantic relationship, we'd call this love bombing. Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Even lessons for like other stuff, mental health and therapy, merchandise, merch production. And then we got to the point, and that was all beautiful. That was.
Oh,
where
I mean,
everything-
yeah.
This is where everything is like, holy shit, this is insane. Also, just as a context reminder, when VShojo opened their applications, way before that, I applied. And actually made it past the first wave, and then never heard anything back, ever, never ever. So,
because they just disappeared.
needlessly to say, it was first of all, it was my long-lived dream to join Hololive. They didn't want me, or rather, never looked at my application or anything. Yeah, this is before I debuted, by the way. This is a long time ago. I wanted to join Hololive. Never heard back from them, or anything like it. So when I saw that the VShojo girls had so much fun and they were such a tight-knit group and like collabs and hangouts, and they looked like the most beautiful people on planet to me. So I applied. Didn't make it very far. Made it like past the first or second, I don't remember. Past the first phase for sure. And then I just kind of got ghosted. They looked like beautiful. I was like, whoa, like my heart was like, I really wanted to be part of those girls. Like it was just perfection, you know? I was like, dude, I fit right in. And yeah. Then far later, eventually at some point, they reached out at the almost peak of my career, and they were trying to hire me. So they were giving me this whole presentation of what they can do for me, which was great and all, but then we came to a list of things that are very important to me. I can run down the list super quick. It should be easy to find. I don't have the list saved anyway, but I know who I send it to. So if you give me a hot moment, I can find the list.
Yeah, like even for me, I was gonna say why would someone as big as her not want to join an agency? Like even for me, in relation to what Slasher said, like it would be nice to not have to deal with the business side of things for sure. Take care of my commissions for me. Take care of setting events up and planning things and take care of posting on my YouTube and this and that. Like, that would be great. That would be great. Video editing, all that stuff. I was surprised when Amelie joined, honestly, since she was already so big. But you're right, I think with everything she already had on her plate, having someone handle the business stuff was probably... Oh, yeah. Yeah. It, like, having someone handle that side of things for you would free up a lot of your time, for sure.
Because I have a list of like non-negotiable values. I absolutely, entirely, without a doubt, non-negotiable. Absolutely not. Okay. This is a big
Here we go!
list. I also noted some red flags that I noticed right away, but
Here we
keep
go,
in mind,
boys!
those are when I at this stage of the contract, when I call them red flags, it is more so I've been dealing with contracts for a while at this point in my career. Lots of contracts are, I hate this word so much, standard contracts. So things you can negotiate. You can negotiate, right? My biggest contract was the revenue share. I did.
Yeah, a lot of things on a... Probably most people, like even myself, I would probably be guilty of it. You get a contract and you think that's just what you have to agree to and you can't negotiate. But I guess you should learn that more than likely you often can make negotiations and you probably should. And it's scary, but you should do it. Editing, events, Twitter posts, YouTube uploads, merch deals, brand deals. Yeah, exactly, Slasher. Exactly. Having someone handle all that is very tempting. Very tempting. Speaking of Amelie, they might not have had made any payroll of her payroll since she joined after they struggled. Oh. For Shylily or Amelie? I think she too mentioned how nice that part was. Yeah. I wish I had someone to manage. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I will.
Did not like how their revenue splits with merchandise and similar things. I'm not gonna go through the whole list like in detail. It is literally like a 2-page fucking doc, bro. But they wanted too much revenue share. Way too much. Like, that was absolutely not it. And the money they offered me in exchange for taking this much of my revenue was just not even...
Damn. I want to know what the percentage was. It had to have been like 50% or something, or insane. I'm honestly, even 40% is too much, I think. Even 40% would be too much. Amelie, okay, Amelie, yeah. Yeah, like she literally just joined them.
That was an insult. It was an insult. The money they said they would provide me with each month for stuff like concerts, models, assets, commissions, whatever, it was an insult. With how much they take, it's an insult. I also didn't like how they kept calling 50-50 splits. That was a genuine red flag because they kept calling 50-50 splits the what was that word? Industry
50-50?
standard. Any corporate that hires you and always puts emphasis on industry standard, run. Run. First of all, 50-50 is not the industry standard.
50-50 is insane. What? No. 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 80-20? Yeah. What? What? My brain auto thought the 80-20 was in favor of the streamer, but now I... What? No freaking way. Hell, no way. I would rip up their contract and mail it back to them. What the frick? What the hell?
It is not. Absolutely not. No. It should be much closer to, you know, and like some people get it as low as 20%, 15 or 10. 50-50 is abysmal. Also, third-party deals was also the biggest red flag. They wanted 5% on third-party deals. I wanted them to negotiate it down to 0. If you don't know what third-party deals are, third-party deals is stuff that they have nothing to do with.
What? So that means if you get a sponsor or something with someone on your own that they didn't set you up with, they also want to cut. No. Piss off. No way. That's insane. That is actually insane. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you make $1,000, you have to give them you have to give them the $800 and you only get 200 of that.
It's me doing stuff.
Yeah,
Me,
exactly.
Mine. If Mythic brings me an offer, they want 5% on top of Mythic's.
No.
Nah, so I was like,
No.
negotiate this down to 0.
I would not have even kept reading the contract. I would have been like, nope, I'm good. I'm good.
One thing that wasn't a red flag at first, I also told them, stay the fuck away from gamer subs. Stay the fuck away. Literally, stay the fuck away.
Yeah,
and at first
yeah, I
were
guess
like,
they would have started expecting 5% from gamer subs. Uh-huh.
Sure, fair. But then they tried to be dodgy about it, and they were like, for the time being, yes. Until we renegotiate the contract, I was like, no, stay the fuck away. No renegotiation.
You're partnered with gamer subs before you even join them. How do they think they're gonna take some revenue of that? What the hell? Are they actually freaking retarded? What the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god. I actually can't believe they would ask for that. Oh yeah, so this company that you're already partnered with before you joined us, by the way, yeah, we're gonna want a cut of that. Wow. Okay, Tuan. Have a good night. Have a good night. Standard in some contracts, if you invent something working for a company, that company can claim your patent. Wow. That's insane. That's so dumb. Wow.
And the excuse for this was, as part of VShojo and part of the brand name, part of the income and opportunities that come my way are due to VShojo in my name. And I said, no, all of these things are stuff I did myself. You don't touch it.
Words.
So yeah, the biggest red flags were, one of them was they refused to go down to 0% third-party deal fees. Again, third-party means Mythic gets me a sponsor, and VShojo isn't touching it. I get myself something, I don't want VShojo to fucking touch it. And
no, why would you?
They couldn't let go of that. They just couldn't. I said, if you have involvement,
So, like, all they would have to do then is acquire a VTuber into their agency who already is sponsored with a bunch of companies, and all of a sudden now they're making a bunch of money because of all the work that they didn't do.
Involved in any of these and help out, you can have
Holy
maximum
shit
5% based on involvement. But if there's no involvement, it's 0, and they refused. Another, probably the by far biggest red flag.
I have no other words in my vocabulary now, okay, other than wow.
Say this now, but maybe later on I will get reminded of something else. The by far biggest red flag. The two, sorry, they're kind of intertwined. The by far biggest red flag was I asked them to sign a non-compete based on gut feeling and hunches I may have had from rumors that have made their rounds. I asked them to sign a non-compete between them and Mythic. Let me explain what this means. A non-compete means that if Mythic gives me sponsors. So what Mythic is, so Mythic Talents, I'm part of Mythic Talents, which is the same as UTA and other places. They give me sponsors. VShojo's talents have also been part of mostly UTA. Long story short, what they do is they read my inbox, they pass on the sponsors, they negotiate sponsors for me. They give me sponsors. I asked VShojo to add or sign a non-compete clause in the contract. What are sponsors? It's when a game pays you to play the game. So I was like, sign a non-compete, because if Mythic gives me a sponsor, let's just keep math really simple, right? If Mythic gives me a sponsor and says they'll pay you $100 if you play this game for an hour, I don't want VShojo to be legally able to go behind my back and contact the sponsor and say, she'll do it for 80, just so VShojo will then give the sponsor to me and they will be able to take the cut. I want them to sign a non-compete so they can't do that. So VShojo can't go to the sponsor and be like, no, she'll do it for this much, just so they can give me the sponsor and they get their cut.
Oh my god, so they get sponsor snipe. Step 1, gaslight someone into working for free. Step 2, promise them you will pay them. Step 3, don't. Step 4, profit. Learn how to get rich quick. Sort of. Yeah, no wonder VShojo mostly wanted already established talents. Yeah, because they wanted to profit off the hard work that they didn't do.
I don't want that.
Oh my gosh.
Mythic got me the sponsor first. I want you to a non-compete that you can't fuck over me and or Mythic. I want a non-compete. Very standard thing. Very standard thing. They didn't want to sign that. They said, when I brought this up, I have proof of everything.
Because that's exactly what they were gonna do.
And by the way, and before anyone tries to pull some weird sneaky shit or VShojo tries some weird sneaky shit, I have proof of everything. I have proof of everything, okay? Everything. The whole 2 hours of the first one and whatever of the next following meetings. I prove everything. Anyways, I got all the receipts. Hours of receipts. Anyways, they then tried to argue when I asked about the non-compete. They were like, hey, we operate on a trust basis. And I was like...
That means you should 100% not trust them. Makes sense. It makes no sense to me and blows my mind how so many companies and corporations think they can extort the people that work for them when they literally will have nothing when those people are gone. Right? Like, you would think as a company that you would want to keep your employees happy because then they're going to work their hardest for you and, like, they're going to want to work for you. And just, like, it just feels like that would be the most successful outcome for everyone, including yourself. But instead, they just want to fudge everyone over. Yes, Shylily Google Docky incoming.
Don't give a shit. Don't care. It's a contract. There is no trust in a contract. There is no trust basis. I know people like there is no trust. There is no we don't operate on jack shit except for the
I don't even know you. I don't trust you, obviously.
black on fucking white on this fucking contract. Trust basis. The second red flag was in this beautiful first interview where the
company I work for right now takes pretty good care of me, and I literally will drive across my entire state to work for 1 day for them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You make your employees happy, you're gonna gain loyal employees who are happy, who will happily go out of their way to do things for you that normally they would not. And then you all benefit. Only person I'd trust making a deal with is the devil, because why would he lie?
Beautiful
Exactly.
person in the very beginning. They presented everything of what VShojo can and will do for me. I ask straight up because the contract had none of that in there.
Man, they probably hated talking to Shylily. They probably hated it so much. They were like, damn, why isn't she just saying yes?
Not one thing, except for the parts I want money off, not one of those things was part of it. The only thing part of it was the money they offer me a year and something else. I forgot about what it was, but there were two things. But there was just, again, money, transactional money things that they had to put in there. So, not one thing that they
Yeah, exactly. I don't like her. She's too smart.
for me as a service was in there. So I simply asked, put them in a contract. Everything you offer, Put it in the contract.
Well, yeah.
Needlessly to say, that part never happened. And
It should all
that
be
is
in there.
literally making a deal with the fucking devil, because if all of these things are things you promise, there is absolutely no reason to not have them in the contract.
If you're advertising all that stuff, then why would it not be in the contract?
These are things
What?
you promise. You swore that's your whole selling point. But when I ask you to put it on paper in the contract that you want me to sign, you refuse. No. 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 The only thing, apart from all the negative, the only thing that was positive in this whole thing was when I asked VShojo if I can reach out to the other talents, because they're trying to hire me. They're trying to make me sign with the company. I said I want to reach out to the other girls and make sure they want me there. First of all, I want to make sure they're aware I'm being recruited. Second of all, I want to make sure they want me there because one part of my list of demands was I refuse to do fake shit. I want that the girls want me there. And they did not tell me to not do that. So that was the only thing where I can be like, okay, cool. That's the only thing where they were like, you may reach out to the other parts of VShojo. Okay.
You spilled an energy drink on your desk. No! Time to look it up. Time to look it up. I feel like any contract you get nowadays, you need to take to a lawyer to make sure you're not going to get reamed. Yeah. Yeah. Like, even myself, I would not trust myself to go over a contract. No way, I'd be too scared. If it's not in writing, it's not legally binding. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I know that much at least.
Okay, cool. So, that was the only good thing that was part of the contract or contract negotiation. They were fine with me reaching out to the other girls. And I did.
Have a good night, Slasher.
And I did. Yeah, and I did. And after all that, I decided to not join. I decided if they can put what I want in there, no. And the reason I call this legal robbery is, again, now that you have a bit more contact. Also, they wanted me to have quality payouts. I suggested that's bad. I don't want that. It makes it difficult to track stuff, and human error can persist during these. I don't want that. Which, you know, that isn't necessarily the biggest red flag. It's just like it leaves room for error that can be left unaccounted because it's difficult to keep track of these things. So, yeah. I noted down that there's nothing malicious with this, but if they take longer than 4 months to get a sponsor page to show up in the books, nothing malicious, but it leaves room for unnoticed error because who the heck keeps track of every sponsor payout from over 4 months ago? We negotiated this to be closer to the industry standard payout length. Yeah. I also wanted to negotiate that any concept they help with, any lore, whatever the fuck, is 100% owned by VShojo. I wanted to negotiate the splits on projects that VShojo is only a partial owner of these things. It's all belonging to me. They don't own any of this. They wanted 100% ownership of everything they help. I didn't like that. What else? I also
100% ownership. Oh my god.
Wanted to argue that VShojo cannot take down whatever they want. If I make a tweet and VShojo doesn't like it, they have the right to ask me to take it down. I have I believe it was 1 week, but I'm not sure. But I wanted them to have a clause in the contract that basically makes it, you can ask me to take it down,
but you don't have to agree.
You can't force me. So if I don't want it, if I don't want to take it down, you simply
they freaking just want to control you. Holy shit. Control and profit. Okay, Teagle. Have a good night. It was good to have you here. I'll try to pry myself away from my bed in Zenless Zone Zero. Okay. Okay, have a good night.
Have to get rid of my contract. I don't like how they can force me to take something down. And I have to comply within, I think it was a week. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Oh my god, a week!
The actual contract. This is just my personal notes I'm looking through. But I didn't like that, so I wanted them to add that. I want to make sure they can't abuse this. So I wanted to negotiate this stuff that if I have a week to comply, and if I refuse to take it down, they can terminate my contract instead. That's what I wanted to do. I also wanted an editing team. for YouTube relevance because they promise marketing and all kinds of other things. So I said I want an editing team and I want a base amount of things they do for YouTube, and I want to make sure they have a minimum effort a week that they have to reach for YouTube exposure and YouTube stuff. They didn't want to do that either.
Holy
the no
frick.
conflict of interest negotiation, the do not compete hasn't been signed. There was no termination clause in the contract at all whatsoever, which means that I would have to go the full 2 years. I wanted them, let me just check. Yeah, I wanted so that when the contract renews, they have to inform me, and if I don't provide my signature for the contract renewal, the contract doesn't renew. I want them to terminate the contract if I don't renew. And I also
Why would it just be an automatic renewal? What?
so another reason, the exit clause, I mainly wrote this down. Sorry, I have to catch up on like my notes. I wrote this down because all of the things they offer, if they do not offer them, again, everything they promised, if they end up not fulfilling their end of the contract, I basically have my exit clause. So I don't even necessarily need them to have an exit clause, but I need them to have those things in there because if they don't comply, I can dip. That's another reason as to why I want those things in there, because that basically becomes my exit clause. If I, for example, tell them, hey, if I have a problem with this, you have to help me. Hey, do not compete. Hey, do not do this, this, and this. And if I don't do those things, I can leave. We successfully negotiated, just to also have some positive things.
Why would you even have to negotiate something like that? What the hell?
We successfully negotiated security and safety issues. We successfully negotiated project management, such as lore videos, podcasts, VTuber animes, game show, 3D shows, D&D streams, 3D space technical expansion, and stuff like this. We successfully negotiated terms on operational marketing and everything tied to it. And I said that I negotiated this because VShojo had the presentation when recruiting me for the first time, setting up.
This sounds insane. This sounds insane. I do want to go to the next video. Henya had a 6-minute video here. Like, oh my god, I cannot with all. I would have been done with the contract and already said no like 50 red flags ago. Holy crap. How did she not just leave? Like, just leave the conversation. She must have been getting a kick out of it after. Like, she must have just stayed in the negotiation conversation just to get a kick out of it after a while. Like, I would have been like, yeah, you know what, I'm good. We don't need to continue having this conversation. See you again, never. Don't speak to me again, and bye. Like,
Hello.
what the actual heck?
Thank you so much for coming today. My name is Henya the Genius, and thank you so much for coming.
Aww, Henya.
Sorry, I am really nervous right now, and sorry, I'm just so nervous right now. Sorry, it's been a lot. But I made a script because I know I'm gonna freak out. So yay, good job, Henya, like a genius.
I'm gonna crash out. I don't know this one. I've heard of her. I've never watched her streams either. But I have heard of her, Henya. Yep.
Okay.
She's really cute.
So, I have made the decision that I'm leaving VShojo.
Yes.
And unfortunately, VShojo owes me significant amount of unpaid debt that I haven't been paying in a long time.
Wow.
This situation has been truly heartbreaking. I truly trusted the company, and this has been like deeply upsetting to me. A few years ago, I was in a situation where I thought about quitting VTubing, giving up all of my dream. I quit everything.
Aww.
But then, after I joined VShojo, I thought everything will be alright. And then I felt like I could tell you guys that Hey guys, thank you for always having my back, but it's gonna be okay. Now it's gonna be alright. That's how I really felt. And
It is still going to be okay, Henya. It is still going to be okay.
joined. I am just so sad right now that. And I am so sorry that I need to make
It's
an
just a
announcement
pretty big bump on
like
the
this
road.
and make you guys worry. I am really, really sorry.
Aww.
However, I'm not going anywhere. This is not the end. I will continue my activities as an independent VTuber.
Good.
I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be your
Very good.
small little kiddo. And
Then you can do whatever
yeah,
you want.
this is not the end. And thank you so much for you guys for always supporting me and everything. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for a lot. I am so happy that I made a lot of amazing friends in VShojo and outside of VShojo, and I am really grateful as well that I have you guys and all of my amazing friends as well. And if you're willing, I'll be incredibly grateful that if you could continue to support me and also support my amazing friends as well, just as you always have. And before 5 minutes,
I just
my
like
stream, 5 minutes before
I can't
my-
imagine being that person who just sat there and not paid any of them. You just don't give a shit. I cannot imagine. I just can't imagine being that heartless. I can't
stream
imagine.
But I just found out that VShojo haven't shipped some of my anniversary merch that I had it back in May yet. So right now,
Wow.
I and my manager and my attorney is working on it. So I will let you guys know if I get any updates. I am so sorry for
It's
a lot
not
of
your
trouble
fault.
and everything, but I will let you guys know.
You don't need to say
And,
sorry.
Lastly, thank you so much for all the love and support and everything that you guys have given me. It means the world to me. Having I will say, new chapter of my life, I guess. And then I'll be honest, I'm scared, but I'm really looking forward to step forward with you guys, and I'll keep doing my best. And I really hope that I can still have fun with you guys. And again, thank you so much for a lot of support. Thank you so much for a lot. Sorry, my voice is shaken. I have been very upset. It has been a lot.
That's sad.
I just found out 5 minutes ago, so I honestly, my emotions are like, oh, yeah, bye. Yeah, but thank
Yeah,
you so much.
VShojo will be
Yeah,
defunct by
again,
the end of the year.
Thank you guys so much for all support and everything.
I wouldn't doubt that.
But yeah, I will keep doing my activity. I'll keep continue as a independent VTuber. So I really hope that we can have a lot of fun together in the future as well. And thank you guys so much for a lot of support and everything. You guys means a lot to me. And thank you so much for everything that you guys done to me as well.
Poor Henya. Poor Henya. I feel bad for all of them. It's just... Holy crap. It really sucks. It really sucks to, like, have this thing that, you know, brought you all together. You gained your confidence from it all. I don't know, like, it probably felt like sort of like a little family for them, and just to have that rug pulled from under you, and all of a sudden you learn that they're just trash now, and you have to leave. The kettle boiled over twice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just like, the group of them aren't torn apart, really. I mean, like I said, it's really just you're removing the VShojo name from your social medias and stuff, but then you just continue on as normal. You know? They don't need VShojo to be a little family. They don't need it. VShojo did not make them. They made themselves. So we're gonna watch Legal Mindset now. Because I want to know what he said. I want to know what he says. The end of VShojo. Lawyer explains. These are fast facts. Alright. Let's find out what Legal Mindset has to say. Let's find out.
The revelations by Ironmouse and many other of the talents at VShojo may very well end that VTubing company. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. This is an insane saga that really, it even peaks perhaps what is going down and what went down last year with Doki Bird and with Niji Sanji, insofar as this is looking like it will end this VTubing company, VShojo, completely, and because we're seeing a massive pool of talent that is looking to exodus from that company. Now, just understand this is a fast facts pre-recorded
They won't even have any talent to keep the company alive.
But I recorded this after listening to Kson's stream where she was interviewing with the Japanese quote unquote branch. We'll talk about that CEO. So we're going to go through all the facts today and really stick to the legal analysis. If you want to see the full version where I'm doing playing more video, I play all of Ironmouse's video and I play some other stuff as well. You check out my live version, but this is the abbreviated version for those that want to get just down to the facts. And of course, I've got a PowerPoint. So with this case, obviously it all started with the mouse. And there are two clear things that she dropped in her message that are legally relevant. First is that she has not been paid wages. So she's owed back wages. She's not been paid for a long time. And these payments that she's owed are in delinquency. They've been owed to her for a long time. She hasn't been paid. And this is something that has been mirrored by other talents. We now have talents such as Kson coming out and saying, I have not been paid for a long time. In fact, I believe she said September of last year, a very, very long time without payments, which is severe, which is significant. So there is an extended period of time with which people have not paid out to the talents. That's a massive, massive problem in and of itself. But the other great problem, and the problem that can have huge criminal liability, is the potential fraud related to the charity, related to the Immune Deficiency Foundation that Ironmouse has always been so vocal for, because it's the cause that represents research that would help people like her and give them a brighter future and hope. And it really was something that she was so invested in. And they decided to take $500,000 and not pay that out to charity. Whatever.
Oh my. Oh, charity fraud. Hell yeah. Yeah, exactly. They messed with the mouse, and they're probably going to find out now.
They did with that, it was not paid to charity, and that is a massive, massive issue. And that's an issue that can see people behind bars, that can have criminal penalties. Absolutely. Once again, these are our allegations at this point, but based on the number of talents speaking up, based on the number of talents that have removed the VShojo branding, we have to, at this point, assume there is some sort of substance behind these allegations. Of course, they are going to have to fight these out. They are going to have to prove this in court or prove this through the regulatory process. However, at this point, going forward and through the scope of this video, understand that I am taking the allegations as credible. For whatever argument you may make of they're not proven yet, whatever, I understand you, but we're going to take them as...
I mean, there's so many of them. Yeah, exactly. There has to be something going on.
Credible for the purpose of this analysis. So let's continue here. So we had obviously Ironmouse speak up, and then we had Kson get on with the JP CEO. Now, this was very enlightening and actually gives us more of the business side of what is going on at
Hello, Warp.
VShojo. It's very clear from this that VShojo is in financial hot water, that they were not profitable. And whatever the distinction was between JP and US, it's very important to note that there was no official legal distinction. That is an internal distinction, the same as a department, for example, saying HR or whatever else, right? Or janitorial staff. It's an internal distinction. It still fell under the control and is the legal responsibility of the headquarters in San Francisco. So the JP branch, as much as that might be a certain amount of talents that was managed by this quote unquote CEO, was not distinguished financially. So those funds that were coming in were being slushed together. So whatever profit JP was making was not offsetting clearly the losses they were taking on the US side or with their other talents. So as a whole, it seems they were in financial dire straits. Now, one big thing that was brought up during this was that the staff was paid and not the talent. There is a very important reason for that, which we're going to get into, which is all of the talents are designated, and this is for almost all VTubing companies. I have not seen one contract, and I've reviewed all of them, including the VShojo contract, Niji Sanji, HoloLive, Vactor, all the greatest hits from big to small, Face Connect. I've seen all of them. I haven't seen a single contract that has said these people are employees. We consider them employees. They all try to make them independent contractors. That's very important.
Yeah, I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Yep. They consider the VTuber talents to be contractors.
Because when it comes to fighting wages and paying wages, you have to pay employees under labor law, whether it's US law, Japanese law, really all around the world, you've got to pay out those wages. But when it comes to independent contractors, well, you can shaft them and then they've got to come and sue you or bring an action against you or a claim against you to try to get those back.
God.
It puts a massive burden on them to claim those amounts of money. Now, I have, since the Niji Sanji crisis, been screaming from the top of the hills that this is BS. And I'll put some money in the swear jar for that one. These people are employees. Whether you consider them full-time or part-time employees, they are under the control and authority.
That is so stupid. If they are doing work for you, then they are an employee while they are doing that work for you. You should, what the frick?
Of these VTubing companies. Now, I understand that there was a lot more anonymity at VShojo than other companies, but you might consider them in that case more like a part-time employee than a full-time employee that's completely controlled by the company.
Makes sense.
And in that case, they would still be owed wages under a normal analysis. And mind you, just because a contract says that you are an independent contractor does not mean that a particular state or country might not look at the situation, might not look at all the factors and say, under our law, we're going to consider them an employee. It's very important. And I do think in the VTubing industry going forward, this is a massive lesson that all VTubing talent should be considered employees. They should push for being employees. They should say, no, I'm an employee if I'm going to work for your company because you need to pay me and you need to be.
Learn that right now. You're doing any contract work, you tell them you're an employee. Negotiate it
if you do not pay me. And I don't think the Japanese CEO, listening to him, is the villain here. He's clearly not at the top of the rung. He's not the CEO or CFO or COO or CTO. He's at a lower rung of responsibility. He certainly cannot make shots for the entire company. That was not his responsibility. And certainly, by the way, none of the talents are liable for this. This is something where they are the victims and they do deserve your support and your appreciation. And I will say this about all of them, Ironmouse, Kson, Henya, everybody, Mitsubishi, everybody, they do deserve your support and love in this time. And also your understanding that they can't say the things that I can say because they're under a different level of scrutiny. Now, I do hope with some right legal maneuvers, they can finally speak up. And we're going to talk about that today and the way they may be able to speak up. But right now, understand and be patient with them. They need to work with their lawyers in their jurisdiction or in perhaps California, which is a jurisdiction for VShojo, where I think is very ripe to bring suits and claims, etc. They need to work with their own lawyers to get this done. So be patient with them to get to that point where they will be able to speak. I do believe that.
Yeah, exactly. People are going to want answers now, but they have to wait. they have to wait and follow the legal process, because if they just come out and say everything, then they're gonna like ruin everything.
Time is going to come sooner than later. Sooner than later. So let's continue with this. The best quote I think from this is "Talent first, my ass." That was probably the best Kson quote out there. Period. And I love Kson. I'm definitely a fan. So one important thing here is that VShojo is an American company. Now we've covered Nijisanji, we've covered
I didn't know that.
big Japanese corporations. And one issue with those corporations is they're Japanese. And if the talent is American or Canadian or really non-Japanese at all, it's really, really difficult to come at those companies. This is not the problem for VShojo. VShojo is an American company, and they're an American company headquartered in one of the states with the most strong consumer protections out there, or strong worker protections, employee protections that are very, very broad.
Oh my God.
In all the United
They really fudged up then, man. Wow.
States.
They
So
really
this
fudged
is
up.
a massive difference. And especially since many of the talents, particularly Ironmouse, being a American citizen, right? Puerto Rico, still a citizen of the United States, and still able to bring claims, fully able to bring claims in California court, particularly related to labor. This is something where it is ripe for conflict, ripe for either a lawsuit, criminal filings, regulatory filings, because they are in America. And this is why I say they are sunk. This is why I say this is not a Nijisanji situation. This is not an any color. This is not a Hololive situation, whatever else. And in those situations, with Nijisanji,
the one VTuber agency that everyone swore up and down were not like the others turns out to be the worst of them. I love it.
I told everybody, hey, when Doki Bird went down, this is not going to be the end of Nijisanji by any stretch. Same thing when there's bumps in the road with Hololive, right? When Gura leaves, it's not going to be the end of Hololive. However, this will be the end of VShojo. This is very, very much going to tank them because of this and because of their financial situation. And mind you, I will point out one other thing. They were founded in 2020. And what was happening in
5 years
I
ago.
say this as a corporate attorney who was
COVID.
previously working in a law firm related to issuing bonds that were used by governments and corporations, and then working in-house and seeing a lot of borrowing and corporate debt. During that period of time, corporations were borrowing at insanely low rates. They were drunk on debt and drunk on almost free money that was under the cost of inflation. So hell, why not? Let's just borrow as much as possible. So I have no doubt that they were highly leveraged going into this, and they were highly hyped up coming off of the kind of everybody's on the internet during COVID era.
Yep.
And thinking that was going to continue forever. And their financial projections were perhaps unrealistic, given the fact that that was a temporary period of time that was over. And there was definitely bumps in the VTuber market as a whole, as people no longer had to be online all the time. And so, yes, the VTuber market did not grow as it was projected to grow based on 2020 numbers, or based on 2019 numbers, et cetera. So I think this number of the founding is actually relevant, and the fact that they are a relatively new company and they're private. So once again, we don't have a lot of the disclosures that we required of a public company. But let's talk about the contract. So I have seen a VShojo contract. Now, in full disclosure, it was based on a previous contract. It is not anyone active. So it's an older contract. So they may have changed things in the contract. So I'm basing it on what I said. However, I don't think they've changed certain things. Number one, they do have certain NDA and confidentiality provisions based on that. I don't think they would have deleted that. I don't think they would have removed that. Those are in the contract. The other most important thing is it does frame them as independent contractors, as non-employees. So that is a super important factor, that they are not called employees. Because
they're probably going to try and use that. Or they're probably going to go try and use that as a reason why they should get off the hook for not paying them. Literally living off the cheap debt they had when they were trying to recover, give life support to the American economy. You knew that wouldn't last. Yeah.
When you are an employee, you get the protection of labor laws. You get the protection of regulation. All
they'll
of
be
those
like,
things don't
necessarily. They'll be like, oh, but they were contractors. So, yeah.
Apply to independent contractors. Now, different states handle this differently. Different countries handle this differently. If anywhere in the United States is going to handle this differently, it's probably California, which is going to look at that and say, oh, no, these were really employees. These really weren't independent contractors. So I think that doesn't exclude it, but it is important for the intent here, because the intent was always to shaft them out of payment, was always to not pay them. So let's continue here. So labor law, we're going to talk about this real quick. So this is about the claims for unpaid wages. And once again, a very important factor here is California, particularly if you're going to file it there, which is where VShojo is headquartered, they don't have any restrictions as to residency status or et cetera. So you can file a labor claim there. Even the people that are part of the corporation that are non-American might have a potential, if they consult with their attorney, to file claims in California in some way, shape, or fashion. Once again, I do believe all the girls that I've heard of, as particularly Ironmouse, have competent lawyers, and they should listen to their lawyers. Obviously, listen to their lawyers over anything I say. This is more education for the public and education for people in general. But I do believe there's a possibility for them to make claims in California, and that would be huge for them. That would open the door to so much. So even if you have a contract, that's not going to prevent you from claiming, hey, you need to pay me these wages, right? Or reporting criminal activity. So reporting, hey, they didn't give this money to charity and we knew it. And we saw it, we knew it, we have testimony, we'll be witnesses against this. We'll go to the federal or state criminal cases for these people. They can still testify to that. There's nothing stopping them. The NDA is not going to stop them. Nothing is preventing them from reporting that crime. In fact, if they try to retaliate for that, VShojo would be punished. You cannot try to retaliate against somebody for reporting a crime. That's not okay. Anywhere.
Oh my God, we're retaliating because they want us to pay them. How dare?
In the US and in most countries in general. So the process for this would be to gather documentation and witnesses, which they're probably doing right now. Their lawyers, particularly Ironmouse, is probably gathering a lot of documentation, getting witnesses together, and then you'd report it to the labor commissioner. In this case, probably the labor commissioner of California. And after that, there's a required mediation.
This just makes me wonder, why would you do contract work then? Like, oh my God. And then they don't pay you, and then you have to go through all this legal bullshit.
Now, this might be what why they're saying, wait, why Ironmouse said in her video, hey, we need to get to a certain part of the legal process. It might be because they want to go to that mediation, see if they can get a settlement, see if VShojo can make this right. Otherwise, if that fails, there's going to be a civil lawsuit. They can bring a civil lawsuit, in which case we'd all get that information. It'd be public information. We'd be able to talk about it. We'd be able to see everything that's going on. It would be a nightmare for them from VShojo if they aren't already bankrupt, which we'll eventually touch on that topic. So then we got the silencing the mouse, and as well as the other talent. There are laws that prevent retaliation.
Can't silence mouse.
Against employees reporting unlawful acts. You've probably heard of whistleblower protections. That's a whistleblower. Ironmouse is a whistleblower saying there is something illegal going on here, i.e., taking money that's supposed to go to charity, whether that's embezzlement or whatever else, or a fraudulent transfer, like that can be reported, and there's no way you can.
Yes, okay. This is the whole, like, you can't sign an NDA that has illegal things in it, sort of, whatever. Yeah.
Retaliate against that. Also, there's another California law that's passed that arguably could prevent NDAs from silencing the employees in regards to reporting bad workplace behavior. So saying, hey, we're not being paid, and
if it's illegal, the NDA does not apply.
And they took this money from charity. The California law is pretty clear that the NDA cannot stop them from saying that. Now, there are other things that they could argue the NDA could stop them from talking about, stuff like personal relationships or personal interactions, maybe for now, but that NDA is not going to silence them from speaking out on what is clearly illegal. Further, aside from whistleblower protections, you can't stop the reporting of crime. I cannot say that enough. Reporting a crime is always permissible, and no NDA in the world can silence you from reporting a crime. That's just the way it is. That's just the facts. So beyond that, let's get into what's going on with the criminal liability, and that could fall on the corporation, or that could fall on people like Justin.
We got a mugshot.
Ignacio, the CEO. Once again, depending on his level of culpability and the culpability of the COO, the CTO, the other officers of the corporation, this criminal liability could fall not just on the corporation as a whole, but on these individuals, depending on how complicit they were in this scheme and how much knowledge they had of this. So let's get into the criminal side, shall we? So we've got obviously civil claims, which this is
Oh,
regarding
God.
the $500,000 that
He's
was not
cooked.
given to charity, that was taken, and God knows what they did with it. Probably, by the way, my best guess on what they did with this is they are leveraged, and they were used that money to pay their current expenses, and they were over leveraged. So they were hoping to pay them back in the future and make some miracle money and pay
That's
them back in the
disgusting.
future and get everything right. They didn't do that. They didn't give the money to the charity. Now that's once again, it's my speculation about what they did, but based on what Kson stream, which just happened just a couple minutes ago, I stopped watching it. It seems they're in financial trouble. And if you're in financial trouble, what are you going to do? You're going to take the money and you're going to use it to pay immediate expenses, probably staff, because they needed to pay them or they'd be hit by labor law restrictions. That's why the JP CEO got paid and Kson didn't. So that's what I think they did with that money. Now, if they did that with that money, there's three things that can happen here. Civil claims, both by the donors themselves and by Mouse and anybody else who's a big donor or gave money.
Oh my
Federal
God.
crimes and their state crimes. Let's talk about civil claims. So first of all,
Oh my God. I was like literally talking to Jello. I'd be like, oh, I would literally freaking sue them and all the donors sue them.
donors can file suit against VShojo. So if they donated money or you donated money, you're out there, you donated money, you might want to just have a chit chat with a lawyer and talk about what you did, how much money you gave, and what was going on with that. And then there's claims, once again, these are different types of civil claims for misrepresentation, breach of contract, fraudulent transfer. Particularly fraudulent transfer is at play here because of the large sum of money, because it's a massive amount of money. Misrepresentation because they misrepresented that money was going to go to the charity and they didn't give it there. And breach of contract because there's an implicit contract. There's a fiduciary duty there to take that money and give it to the charity. And they broke that understanding. They broke that agreement. And Ironmouse could also likely bring a claim as well, because once again, she was part of that. She, I'm sure, donated to that as well herself. So she probably has status as a donor, but also just to clear herself from that and saying, hey, look, this money was supposed to go there. It didn't. Let me put this claim in there to make it very clear that they're doing wrong. So I think Ironmouse also could back up the donos in that. Let's go to federal crimes. This is the fun one. This is the one where they're going to end up paying the money from behind bars. Charity fraud is typically investigated by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. Now, oftentimes they're working in conjunction with the state attorney general. So those working as kind of a team in order to look into all types of charity fraud and really do the investigation. Once again, we are very preliminary. We're at the allegation phase. This would all need to be investigated. We need to see proof. We need to see documents. But the people who get that are the FTC and the state attorney general. And I think the state attorney general of California, which I'm sure many people are going to contact after this, will be very, very interested in hearing this case. $500,000 from an immunodeficiency charity. I'm sorry. That is deplorable. And that's disgusting.
You are fried. Like, you are cooked and then fried and then freaking grilled and everything.
And once again, I try to keep this to
they're gonna go up in flames.
Legal analysis, but the scope of this really does give me a righteous indignation with the amount of money that was taken here from a charity. So depending on the nature of the fraud, a breach of that duty to deliver that money can violate several federal laws. So it can be wire fraud. Wire fraud is one of the easiest ones to get them for. And certainly if they wanted to go down that route, and it is a case where they received the money via the internet, because wire fraud is not just old school wires and telephones, it's the internet. They got them, boys. They got them on that one. Money laundering, potentially making false statements about where the money would go, misrepresentations. Also the FTC Act, which involves various regulation of money regarding charities. All of those things they can be hit with, and they could get real jail time on this. This is serious jail time in real prison. This is not fun, down under the sun. This is all potential prison time for people at VShojo. Beyond that, there's state law. There's California Penal Code 503, 501, 515 regarding embezzlement. So assuming that they took the money and they embezzled it and they use it elsewise, that's right there. Breach of fiduciary duty, because they have a duty. They're the trustee of that money to give it over to the charity. That was their duty, fiduciary duty. Anybody who, for example, is holding money for somebody else. So if you gave money to a lawyer and that lawyer is supposed to go pay for real estate and they don't pay for real estate, they pay for, cocaine and whatever else, that's going to be a huge, massive problem.
I'm
So
so sorry. I didn't get your house. I paid for cocaine instead.
that would be a breach of fiduciary duty. This was a breach of fiduciary duty in the charity sense. Misleading and deceptive fundraising, I think that speaks for itself. They said the money was going to go one place, it didn't go there. Also, reporting and regulatory violations. So, how do they do their taxes? How do they report this? They needed to report this to the government, to the regulatory authorities, saying, hey, we donated this money to charity. Did they take a tax write off for this? Did they write this off on their taxes? Did they make a false financial report? That's massive. And the last one,
Ooh,
and
that would be bad.
the two things you're afraid of, even the Joker is afraid of, is the IRS and the tax law violations, both. And the tax law, by the way, is at the state and the federal level. So it's both levels. But tax law is perhaps the most massive place, because if they chose to try to take a write-off on this or to falsify their taxes, oh boy, the tax man does not F around, does not F around. And that's where the people could see very, very serious state consequences. Now, let's talk about the other girls and a little bit about what went on with them.
Michi's
Obviously,
so
a lot
cute.
of them have pulled out of the branding. They've no longer branded themselves as VShojo. They're going to have talks on this. Obviously, Kson had a very clear talk. I think Henya is going to talk, and some others are going to have a commentary as well, which I may have follow-up videos on that. But it very much seems like these talents were, especially since Kson said she was shafted out of wages, that she didn't get paid her wages. In that case, I think they need to file claims as well. I think all of the
Yeah, they
talents need to
should.
consider, particularly in California, filing labor law claims. And once they do that, the other thing that's really going to be awesome for them is all those no retaliation clauses apply to them, so they can start speaking more. Now, they need to talk to their attorneys and make sure this works for them under their situation. Their personal attorney is comfortable with this. But assuming they are, once they do that, once the claim is initiated, they will be able to say a little bit more. Now, there's another factor
hope
here.
they
This applies
do.
to Ironmouse and all the other girls and why they're not going to talk. If you're going to go into a lawsuit situation or you're going to sue, you want to shut up. You want to say as little as possible, only what you can say or have to say. So even if these girls can speak technically, or they could say it and they're not going to get punished under the law, or VShojo's not going to be able to sue them for breaching NDA, there may be other good reasons for them not talking. However, that might be able to open up them explaining a little bit more to their audience and giving a little bit more context. And maybe at some point they want to do that. So that's something there. But beyond that, they're owed wages. They're all owed wages. They need to get paid. They need to get paid the money that they're owed. And I say wages, although people usually
I really hope they're going to get paid at the end what they're owed.
associate with employees, and payments are
That's
usually
horrible.
independent contractors in terms of the language there. But to me, these people are not just amazing talents, they're workers, they're true employees that are dedicating a significant amount of their time, and they are giving some control and authority over to this entity to direct them to do certain things and to take certain actions. And beyond that, the financial arrangement between them is one that I think they could argue, particularly with the restrictiveness of the contract, that set them up as employees. Even further, put VShojo on the defensive. If all of them file claims in California, labor law claims, it's on VShojo to prove that they're not employees. So put VShojo on the defensive. Don't allow VShojo to take the offensive. Take the offensive against VShojo. Take it to them. Take it to their court. Push them. And I think that is the right emphasis as they go forward with this. And I'm sure there's lots of California attorneys that would help them. And frankly, if any of the girls needed any help finding a California attorney, I'm happy to try to hook them up and recommend them for them. But that said,
Nice.
I think the girls do need to consider their options and speak with local attorneys. Beyond that, this is a big one, especially after the Kson stream. I think they need to really worry about VShojo declaring bankruptcy, because based on the financial situation, as explained by the JP CEO, it looks like they're not doing good. And what I am worried, and the strategy that came out of Kson stream, which I think is putting together, is they are not paying the independent contractors because they're planning to declare bankruptcy. I have seen this before as corporate counsel.
And I bet if they claim bankruptcy, then they won't get paid at all. Yeah, because then they'll have filed bankruptcy.
evil corporate counsel from my back days when I did that. That is something corporations do. When they're going under, they stop paying out because they know they're just going to declare bankruptcy. And what happens when you declare bankruptcy? Well, there's two types of debt. There's secured debt and there's unsecured debt. Secured debt gets paid first. The stuff like mortgages or something like a lien on a car, right? It's secured by something. There's something they can take. That's paid first. Then there's going to be employees' wages. Those are paid. But anything else, including independent contractors, is unsecured and dischargeable. So the big thing they're banking for is to get to discharge the payments because they label them as independent contractors. That's their strategy.
Oh my god. I don't even know what to say to that. That's disgusting. Yeah, I hope that does not happen. Though I won't be surprised. Won't be surprised.
And to me, the question is not only are they going to declare bankruptcy, it's how quickly are they going to declare bankruptcy? In fact, if I was the CEO of VShojo, I'd be running right now into the bankruptcy court to declare it right now so they can stop all payments. And now that would put it on them to battle back. That would put it on the talents. So I think the VShojo response is going to be to immediately declare bankruptcy. And why is that? They lost their largest talent. There's no way they can financially recover. You can't explain to me how VShojo, who is already losing money by the own admission of their staff, by the own admission of the JP CEO, is already losing money. They're already not able to pay. And suddenly they're going to lose all their talent and be able to pay? No one's going to give this company a loan, especially with this bad PR. Are you kidding me? No, this is a clear bankruptcy scenario. And in bankruptcy, they're going to try to discharge that. Now, there's a little ray of hope, a tiny little smidgen of hope, right? Is that there is a special exemption for unpaid commissions to independent contractors. So debt qualifies for priority status, meaning it gets higher status than unsecured debt if during the 12 months before the bankruptcy, 75% of the contractor's own earnings were from the debtor. So in this case, that would apply to most of the girls, I imagine. Now, maybe they have other earnings or other money from elsewhere, but if they were making most of their money from VShojo, that is a big exemption that could fly in there. Once again, it doesn't guarantee they get paid out, but it does give a glimmer of hope if they go the bankruptcy route, which I think it's looking like right now. That's what I've got for today for the Fast Facts version, guys. This has been insane. I will be on top of this. Check out the live if you want to get all the questions, the banter, all that other stuff.
Damn. Well, I hope if they go that absolute scumbag route of claiming bankruptcy, that the girls will get the exemption of having at least 75% of their earnings from them, because then it won't matter. Holy shit. All right, let's check what the thing's at. Wow. It went up. I'm refreshing. It went up a lot during the stream. It's at $692,000. Holy crap. Wow. And she hasn't even done she like hasn't even done a charity stream yet. Holy crappers. Wowie. That's awesome.